No, yep, hold on one second. Our program today is Financial Wellness. This program will be presented to you by Brenda Oldham from RAM Financial. The topic of today's Financial Wellness program is taking control of your finances.
Thank you very much, Greg. I am pleased to be able to participate in Money Smart Week, in an educational program that is brought by Pontiac Library. So just think about it. Wouldn't it be nice if you feel like you have adequate cash flow? You have enough money to pay all your expenses. Well, that's what we're going to talk about. We're going to go over 7 different steps. We'll also look at things that you can do immediately to start improving your debt ratio and also to improve your cash flow. So, in honor of Money Smart Week, that begins today, which is April 10th. It goes all the way till April 17th. And you might be saying, well, what is Money Smart for? Well, it's for everyone. It doesn't matter what age you are. It's a time to kind of reassess your finances and make some changes that might improve your overall total finances. So financial wellness, the definition of financial wellness is truly just living within your means and learning to manage your finances for short-term and long-term. And what is living within your means? It means that whatever income you receive, you make sure that your expenses do not exceed your income. Now, there are times that things happen in our lives where we really can't control it. And what do I mean by that? Because life is a journey, you might find yourself caring for a parent as well as caring for a child. And when that happens and you have all these increased responsibility, it can cause a feeling of financial insecurity. And so what are things that can help us avoid that? Well, creating and establishing an emergency fund. What does that mean? Well, it means that you set aside money that you're not going to access unless there's an emergency. Now, did you realize that individual bankruptcy has risen by 11% in the United States? And the 3 major causes of bankruptcy is medical expenses, job loss, or poor or excess use of credit. And so we're going to talk about using credit, what you can do instead of always using credit. Right now, I just want to share my own story, why financial wellness and improving your debt is so important to me. This is my dad, and this is me kind of growing up a little bit beyond teenage, just beginning my adult life. Well, something major happened to our family. We lost, actually, my mom got very, very sick. At the age of 43 years old, she had a brain tumor in her head. As a result of that, she passed away. And so this was financial devastating to our family. Matter of fact, my dad did not even have life insurance. And usually when you lose a parent, there is Social Security benefits that are set aside for minor children or dependent children. But in this case, my mom did not work outside of the household, so therefore we did not qualify for that as well. It was at that point in my life, I decided that I was going to learn about finances, improve my financial well-being, and also help others prepare to improve their financial well-being. There's another story I want to share with you because you should not feel ashamed of maybe not having adequate way of improving your debt, because we're going to talk about what you can do to do that. Once you realize that, admit it and then start working on it. So I'm going to share another story with you, which is pretty much mostly a lot of people. And as I said myself, I even experienced it. So if you experience where you feel like you're living paycheck to paycheck, it's okay. And as you can see, as we get to the end, I'm going to tell you some ways that you can connect with me so that I can help you improve your credit score, improve your debt ratio, or if you're having any issues with just managing a budget. I even have materials that we can get for you.
My name is Joyce, and I've been divorced for a little over 3 years. I share a condo with my cat, Sam. I have 2 grown children. My daughter was married last spring and is expecting my first grandbaby. My son is moving back home this fall and plans to attend an area technical institute. My father died last year, and my mother recently suffered a series of small medical setbacks. I was the first one in my family to graduate from college, and I hold an associate degree in applied science. For the past 12 years, I've worked as a tech for a small veterinary clinic. I earn a modest but comfortable salary. Over the years, I've steadily contributed to my 401k plan. I closely watch my spending, faithfully pay my bills, and carry little debt. By all outward appearances, I should be well on track to retire at age 65. But I'm not so sure. When I was married, my husband handled all the household finances and investments. I was responsible for paying the bills and keeping the checkbook. Earlier this year, I went to the library and checked out a book on finance and investing. But I struggled to fully grasp how the complex concepts applied to my particular situation. So I enrolled in a community education class on retirement planning. The presenter was a polished speaker and seemed knowledgeable. Still, I felt slightly uncomfortable and wasn't sure what questions to ask. I want to be able to help my mother. I want to be there for my kids and grandkids too. But I worry about the possibility of someday ending up a homeless bag lady. I know I need to take steps, and sooner, not later. I'm not sure what those steps are and in what direction to take them.
So as you can see, many people are in the same situation as Joyce. They have a lot of doubts. They don't know where to begin. They don't know where to start. And so this session that we're doing today will actually help you start thinking, what type of goals do I need to set for myself? What goals do I need to set for my family? So some of the steps that we want to take, step number 1 is making sure that our income does not exceed our expenses. And then the other steps that we're going to talk about goes in line if you are employed perhaps with a company. Many people don't realize how their benefits can actually help them with the sound foundation financially. So let's say you work for a certain company, doesn't have to be a large company, wherever you work, and they offer health insurance. Health insurance is one of those basic financial foundation. So what if my company doesn't offer health insurance? If my company does not offer health insurance, then you are eligible to get a health insurance plan on the marketplace. And I will leave contact information if anyone has questions on that. Another basic financial foundation, as I shared my story with you, we did not have life insurance on my mom, is making sure you have life insurance. Some employers offer it, some employers do not. The other thing is, if your employer offers a 401k plan, start early. It's not how much you put in. If you can only put a very small percentage initially, that's fine. Usually 3% or 4% might be eligible for a match. That's if your employer offers that. If that happens to be your situation, take advantage of it, because you're not going to miss 3 to 4%. That's a small amount that would be coming out of your paycheck. It would reduce your taxable income. And when you do your taxes, you probably would get a higher return or even some money back. The other thing, a benefit that a lot of employees offer is vacation. Usually vacation is a good time to not only regroup yourself, maybe get some rest and recreation, but also a good time to take some time to reassess maybe your budget. It is very important to educate yourself on financial wellness. There are courses that are offered through Pontiac Library for the purpose of financial education, making sure that you take care of your finances. Now, how do you reassess? Well, you kind of want to know where you are. The best way to know where you are financially is to do a budget. We will also have a handout if you need just a budget template, but there are several things that you can get online as well. Everyone should do a budget. That is the only way you're going to know where you are. Now, where are you going? Well, you got to set some goals, realistic goals. So if I only earn $40,000 a year, then it probably wouldn't be realistic that I'm going to tackle $30,000 debt in 1 year. It's not going to happen. So there's two ways to tackle a debt. You can tackle debt by doing what is called the snowball effect. Have you ever had a snowball and you roll it and it gets bigger and bigger? Well, you start small. So that would be one way to address debt, is starting small, meaning taking the smallest credit card balance and work your way up to the larger one. Another way that some people do it is they use the avalanche method. The avalanche method means I take the highest interest and I tackle that first. I'm the kind of person who likes to see progress. So I always say take baby steps. That will allow you to keep going, and it will inspire you to want to continue to work on maybe reducing your credit balances down till the point of eliminating those. That's the goal. So what are your obstacles? Each and every one of us have obstacles. We also need to understand our weaknesses. What gets us to that point? Whatever those obstacles, whatever those weaknesses are, those are the things that we want to keep under that lid. We want to make sure we tackle those. So what can you do to ensure financial success? Well, first of all, you want to make sure that you do a timeline of how you're going to make progress to tackle that debt. So your mission is not to look like this lady, meaning that, I got so much burden on me, so much debt that I am way down. I am stressed. That we don't want to see at all. So we talked about a lot of things here. We know that we need to have an emergency fund. And you might be saying, Brenda, I don't have enough cash flow. How can I do an emergency fund? Well, there are things that you can do. If your income is not sufficient enough, maybe you can work on finding another job or improving your resume. Maybe that's not an option for you. I had an individual that was able to improve their income by going to garage sales. So what they began to do is look for garage sales, and not only garage sales, there are times when you can go and people set things out on this curbside that they no longer want. And if you are a little bit creative, not very creative, because I've done this before and I'm not very creative, you can take those things, repaint the furniture, do something really simple, take it to a consignment shop, get some money off of it. Look for things that you've got in your house that you've had in your house a long time that you don't use anymore, that maybe you can put it on a site called Let It Go, where you can earn money that way. There's so many things that you can do a little bit of extra. I also had an individual that not only did they work their regular job, but on the weekends, they had a part-time job to help them just tackle their debt. Because when you have credit card debt with interest rate, it's like a vicious cycle. It's like being on a treadmill that you don't know how to get off. So one of the missions that we have is to help you reduce your stress, to reduce your debt ratio. So with that, here's a couple things that I'm going to leave with you. I have additional tools. I'm a Dave Ramsey preferred coach, meaning that I have helped many people be able to eliminate their debt by doing the 7 steps that Dave Ramsey offer. The other thing that you need to be able to do is to understand that you need to be able to have something working as hard as you do. So I go to work every day, I get a paycheck. What if I can start off very small with doing some investing so that that money can begin working for me as well? Now, we talked about the basics. The basics is using your employer's benefits. If the employer offers a 401k, contribute. If the employer offers your health insurance, even if you have to cost share, you want to make sure you take advantage of it. If the employer does not offer a 401k, then you want to work with a financial advisor who can help you be able to start your own account. With that, Brenda Oldham from RAM Insurance and Financial Services, helping you improve your finances with financial wellness. Thank you very much.